people would be very surprised. I'm going to say 5 horror movies. Alien was one of them. The Exorcist is one of the great movies of all time. You know, Suspiria, great, great, great movie. There was one that was called Feast, that was 3 parts, and it just was just over the top crazy. I would say Feast and Evil Dead are in there somewhere. Number 1 favorite horror movie was Salem's Lot with David Soul. It was made for TV, but Barlow was one of the great, it may be the best vampire I ever saw, because they kept talking about him and you never saw him. And they kept talking about him and talking about him, and there were 5 or 6 of the greatest scenes in any movie I've ever seen in that one movie. When finally he shows up, the guy's in a jail cell, and he kind of is like waking up, and you just see this jail cell open, and then the whole screen is, and it's Barlow. I went, because I wasn't expecting that, you know, and I went, this movie is really good. I mean, from the beginning to the end. Tobe Hooper directed it. There was a scene with the kids floating outside, scratching on the windows, let me in. There was the other scene with the guy in the rocking chair. Teacher. I mean, really unique scenes. My other favorite scene was David Soul. There's a vampire woman behind him with a sheet over her. And he hears a rustling behind him. And he takes these 2 tongue depressors and he's trying to make a cross. He's trying to put them together as a cross, and he's trying to recite the Lord's Prayer. Our Father who, he doesn't know it. And he's trying to put it together, and she keeps moving, and finally she sits up. And I mean, it was 5 or 6 of the best scenes I've ever seen in a horror movie in that one movie. So if you haven't seen Salem's Lot, they remade it then with Rob Lowe and Rutger Hauer. One of the worst things I've ever seen in my life. The vampire had like, you know, a cape on, you know, whereas Barlow was just pure evil. He was just like personified evil. I mean, just great movie.